Hello, I'm going to be going through answers to the Wits University Maths Competition 2019 for the ages for grades 4 and 5. Okay, so let's start with the first question. These are 3-point questions. First question, find the value of 20 times 19. 20 times 19. Okay, this can be done in a variety of ways. I'm going to just start with the main way that everyone knows is long multiplication, 20 times 19. And in this case, we're going to say what's 9 times 20, and we're going to get 180. And then what's 1 times 20 with a 0, or 10 times 20 is 200. Add those up and we get 380. Okay, so the answer there is D. Just a side note, you can recognize that 19 is 20 minus 1. So if you say 20 times 20, you're going to get 400. And then you need to subtract 120, so it's 400 minus 20 is again 380. Moving on to the next question. Mr. Smith has a sweet shop. The graph below shows his sales for each day of a week, from Monday to Sunday. On which day were his sales the highest? Okay, so the days of the week go down on the left column: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And on the horizontal axis we've got 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And there are various bars going across. So Monday we've got a bar like that, Tuesday we've got a bar, etc., etc. Now obviously the length of this bar represents the sales for that particular day, and I'm not going to draw it to scale, but on Monday it's at 5, Tuesday was 6, Wednesday was 3, Thursday is 7, Friday is 5, Saturday was 4, Sunday is 2. Okay, so let's actually, we can draw those in. Something like that. And it's quite clear that Thursday the bar is the longest. It's also got the highest number. It's at 7 sales, and therefore the answer is D, Thursday. Okay, moving on to the next question. Nkosi plays soccer with some friends. They start at 5:20 p.m. and finish at 6:05 p.m. How long was their game? Okay, so let's write that down. We start at 5:20 and we finish at 6:05. Okay, so you should just be careful you don't make the mistake of saying it's 1 hour. It's obviously in this case less than an hour. Maybe let's break this up. So from 5:20 to 6 o'clock, we say plus 40 minutes equals 6 o'clock. And then to go from 6 o'clock to 6:05, we need another 5 minutes. Okay, I'm just going to stick those in brackets. So in total, to get from 5:20 to 6:05, we added 45 minutes. And the answer then is B. Okay, the next question. Find the value of 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 all the way up to 10. Okay, so in this case it's quite a short list, so it is quite straightforward if you want to just add it up. Let's do that. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5, 6 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9 plus 10. And I'm just going to say at the bottom, and let's do a running total. So we've got 1 plus 2 is 3, 3 plus 3 is 6, 6 plus 4 is 10, 10 plus 5 is 15, 15 plus 6 is 21, 28, 36, 40, 45, and 55. So we know that the sum adds up to 55. There is another way to do this, and obviously if it was a longer list, let's say they asked us to find the numbers from 1 to 100, you know, that would take a long time to add up, but what we can do is we can say 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5, and I'm just going to put dot 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 plus 10. So in this case we're summing the numbers from 1 to 10. If we reverse this list and we put the 10 in front on this side, 10 plus 9 plus 8 plus, and we end on 1, you can see that if we group our numbers like this, each group is going to add up to 11. 1 plus 10 is 11, 2 plus 9 is 11, 3 plus 8 is 11, 4 plus 7 is 11, and finally 10 plus 1 is also 11. So now the question is, how many times have we added 11? So here we can say that it's 11 times 10, because there are 10 numbers that we have to add up. And finally, what that's going to give us is 110, and we know that our answer is 55, so what have we done wrong? Well, we've added this twice. So we need to divide that by 2, and that gives us 55. And this approach is obviously much more scalable if you ever want to add up very long lists. You take the first number plus the last number. Okay, so it's the first number plus the last number. You multiply that by the number of numbers in your list, and then finally you divide it by 2 because you've essentially done it twice. Okay, so the answer there is 55, which is D. Okay, next question. Find the value of 0.2019 minus 0.02019. Let's write that down. 0.2019 minus 0.2019. Okay, there we go. Okay, so let's do the subtraction. We can just do subtraction in the usual way. As long as you line up your decimal points, it doesn't matter that this is a decimal number rather than a whole number. It all works out the same way. So if we want to take 0 minus 9, we can't do that. So let's carry 1 from before. So we're left with 8 there. And we've got 10 minus 9 is 1. 8 minus 1 is 7. 1 minus 0 is 1. 0 minus 2, again we need to carry 1, so it's 10 minus 2 is 8. 1 minus 0 is 1. And then finally 0 minus 0 is 0. So there's our answer, 0.18171. And that is answer B. Okay, so just here, obviously it doesn't matter that there's a decimal point. As long as you line up the right columns, you must line up the units column, the tenths column, the hundredths column, and it all works out exactly the same. Okay, Question 6, these are the 4-point questions. Some students have a grade, some students in a grade 5 class lineup. Tabo is 10th from the front and 12th from the back. How many students are in the class? Okay, so Tabo is somewhere in the middle, and it says that he is 10th from the front. Okay, which means he is number 10, but there are 9 students in front of him. Okay. Similarly, it says that he's 12th from the back. So how many students are behind him? There are 11 students behind him, and you've got to count Tabo as well. So the total number of students in the class is 9 plus 1 plus 11 equals 21. 21, that answer is D. And next question. Which of the following numbers is closest to, and okay, I'm just going to write it down. It's a bit of a mouthful to say. 0.000246 and times 7.982.413. Okay, and the answers are it's 220, 200, 2,000, and 20,000. Okay, so in this case, they're not asking us to do the multiplication, they just want us to find the closest number. So we can round a few things off. So first thing to see is that this is approximately 8 million. So I'm just going to write that down. So it's approximately 8 million. Okay, and then this one I'm going to actually round, keep 2 digits, but let's see, that's going to be 0.000250. Okay, so I rounded the 246 to 250, and I rounded the 7.98 million to 8 million. Okay, the next thing that we can have a look at is moving the decimal point. If I shift this one across by 3, and then this one across by 3 in the other direction, I'm not going to change the total. So I make this one 1,000 times bigger and this one 1,000 times smaller. So let's have a look at that. It's 0.25 times 8,000. 0.25 is actually a quarter, so you can say what's a quarter of 8,000, and that equals 2,000. You might prefer doing it a bit differently. We could also move this another 3 points over. Let's say, sorry. Okay, so if we shift this another 3 points, okay, then we've got 250 times 8. And again, 4 times 250 is 1,000, so 8 times 250 is 2,000. Okay, so either way, D is going to be the closest. Just out of curiosity, you're not allowed calculators in this test, but if you were, I'm just going to quickly tell you the actual answer if you want me to just verify. 0.246 times 792.413. And so the actual answer to this is equal to 1963.67 and a whole lot more decimal points. And you can see that 2,000 is clearly the closest. Okay, so there the answer is D for question 7. Let's write that down. Okay, let's go to question 8. What is 30% of 20% of 50% of 7,000? So let's write that down. 30% of 20% of 50% of 7,000. Okay, so the first thing to know here is just understanding the language of math. When they talk about the word of, they mean multiplication. So if you say 50% of 2, you want to multiply half. 50% is half, half of 2 is 1, and that makes sense. And it applies to this as well. So all of these ofs we need to replace by multiplications, and then our percentages means it's a fraction of 100. So 30% is actually equal to 30 over 100. 20% is equal to 20 over 100, and 50% is equal to 50 over 100. So let's simplify these. Here I'm going to divide the top and the bottom by 10, so I've got that's equal to 3 over 10. Okay, over here I can divide top and bottom by 20, so that is equal to 1 over 5, and here I can multiply top and bottom, or divide top and bottom by 50, which is equal to 1 over 2. So let's put these numbers in. 30%, so this equals 3 out of 10. Of is times, 20% is 1 over 5, times 50% is 1 over 2, times 7,000. Okay, so let's multiply all of this out. To multiply fractions, you multiply the tops and the bottoms. So 2 times 5 is 10, times 10 is 100. Okay, and 3 times 1 is 3, so it's 3 over 100 times 7,000. And what we can do here is we can take off 2 zeros. So now we're left with 3 times 70, which is equal to 210. Okay, and 210 is answer C. Okay, question 9. My friend is 4 years older than me. The sum of our ages is 24. How old am I? So in this case, I mean, obviously you can start just plugging in numbers, and we'll do that at the end to verify. I want to show you more generally how to solve questions like this, and so I'm going to solve it with equations. So I'm going to use the letter M to say this is me, my age, and the letter F is equal to my friend's age. Okay, let's change this to my age. Okay, so the first part of the question says my friend is 4 years older than me. So my friend is equal to, my friend's age is equal to my age plus 4. He's 4 years older than me. The next part of the question says the sum of our ages is 24. So F plus M equals 24. My friend's age plus my age is 24. Okay, so now how do we calculate? Okay, the question asks us to find our age, or my age. So what we need to do is we need to eliminate the variable f. So if we stick this f into this equation, what we're going to get, f is equal to m plus 4 plus m equals 24. And if you add all of this up, you're going to get, it's 2m's plus 4 equals 24. We can subtract 4 on both sides of this equation, and we're going to get 2m equals 20. And if we divide both sides by 2, we get m equals 10. And therefore, my age is 10. And if you calculate that back, just to check the answer is right, if my age is 10, my friend's age is 4 years older than me, which is 14. And 10 plus 14 is indeed 24. So that is the answer to this question. My age is 10, which is B. Okay, next question. Okay, so this is, again, just calculate some, find the value for a multiplication sum. So let's, I'm just going to write it down. 726 times 32 plus 726 times 68. Okay, so the first thing to notice here is we've got multiplication and addition, and you must do your operations in the correct order. Some people use das. I've also seen BODMAS. You know, various ways to remember it, but this essentially says first do the brackets. Those two you can do interchangeably. So it's brackets, then it's of, and then division and multiplication. We do division and multiplication from left to right, and addition and subtraction from left to right. So first thing, there's no brackets, there's no of. So let's look at division and multiplication, and there it is. Here's our two multiplications. We must do those before our addition and subtraction. I'm going to put in brackets here. Okay, and now obviously we can calculate these two parts and then add them together. However, I'm going to suggest let's not do that. Let's think about this in a different way. What we are saying is that we've got 32 groups of 726. So it's 726 times 32. But we've also got 726 times 68. So there's 68 more groups of 726. So let's add that. Okay, so the total number of groups of 726 is 32 plus 68. And that then becomes quite easy to solve. 726 times, what's 32 plus 68 is 100, which equals 72600. And that is the solution. I'm not going to do the individual multiplication. You're welcome to verify it on your calculator, but the easy solution is to just recognize that you can combine the 32 and the 68 together because your 726 is common. And so therefore our answer is D. Okay, so we're moving on to the 5-point questions now. What fraction is the smallest? Let's write all of them down. Okay, so it's 1/3. So A, 1/3. B is 3/10. C is 6/9. D, 2/7. 2/7. And finally E, 5/13. Okay, So first up, I'm going to start this by converting the numbers to decimal points. A lot of these I think that you will be able to recognize. 1/3 is equal to 0.333. Recurring. 3/10 is equal to 0.3. 6/9, let's convert that. If we divide the top and bottom by 3, we're going to get 2/3. We know that 2/3 is more than 1/3, so let's scratch that out immediately. But if we want it, we can say that that's 0.666 recurring. Okay. 2/7, that's a tricky one to calculate into a decimal point without using a calculator. So let's not do that one. And then this last one, 5/13, again, that is quite a tricky one. But what we can do here is quite a neat trick. We just want to know where it fits in more or less, and is it the smallest. And if we say, we know that 1/3 is equal to, let's multiply top and bottom by 5, that's equal to 5/15. Okay, and 5/15 is smaller than 5/13. Okay, and the reason for that is, if you think about it, the bottom number talks about how big, let's say you have a pie. Here you're dividing it into 13 pieces, here you're dividing it into 15 pieces. So if you have more pieces, then each piece is smaller. So 5/15 is smaller than 5/13 because here your pieces are bigger. So we know that this is bigger than A, and therefore it again can't be the smallest. Okay, so if we have a look at these three, the smallest of these three is B, so let's compare these two together. And the easiest way of doing this, obviously you either want a common numerator, which we did in these two examples. We got the 5 to be the same. The other way of doing it is to get your denominator to be the same, so I'm going to do that on this one. 3 times, okay, so to get a common denominator, we're going to choose 70. So let's multiply top and bottom by 7. 3 times 7 and 10 times 7, so it's 21/70. And this one is, we're going to multiply by 10, is 20/70. And clearly 20/70ths is going to be smaller than 21/70ths, and therefore this is our answer. So that's D. Okay. Next question. Find the 83rd term in the sequence 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 4, etc., etc. Okay, so here the number 1 is repeated once, 2 twice, 3 times, later 10 is repeated 10 times, 11 times, and so on. Okay, so what have we got? Let's just write this down. Okay, so the sequence is 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4, 4. And they say that there's 1, 1, and there's 2 2s, and there's 3 3s, and there's 4 4s, etc. I'm going to rewrite this a little bit differently. Same sequence, but I'm going to say 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4, 4, etc., etc. Okay, and I want to know what number in the sequence is this last letter. Okay, so we know that 1 is the first digit, so let's write that down. We know that there's now 2 more digits. So let's actually, okay, so there's 1 1, there's 2 2s, there's 3 3s, 4 4s, 5 5s, 6 6s, 7 7s, etc., etc. But if we want to calculate, so let's now add this up. So this number 1 is the first digit. 1 2 3. It's 1 plus 2 is, this is the third digit. Here, this is the 6th digit, that 3. And this is the 10th digit, so it's 6 plus 4. And we can actually, we've done this already before. If you remember at the beginning of the test, we did 1 plus 2 plus 3 up to 10. So we know, I'm just going to do it again actually, 8, 9, 10. So if we add the numbers from 1 to 10, what we calculated earlier is that that's 55, but if we just want to fill it all in, it's 21, 28, 36, 45. Now just what they are actually asking is find the 83rd term. So we know that's the first term, that's the third term, that's the 6th term, that's the 10th term, and they want to find the 83rd term. So let's keep adding this up. 10 plus 11 plus 12 plus 13 plus 14, etc. Let's see where we end up. 55 plus 11 is 66. And that's 78. We add 13 and we're going to get 91. So they want the 83rd term. Okay, so 91 lines up to 13. So let's write that down. We've got 13, 13, 13, and there's a whole lot of 13s until we get to this last 13 is the 91st term. And then with 12, we've got 12, 12, 12, and a whole lot of 12s until our last 12 is the 78th term, but they want the 83rd term. Okay, so it's more after 12, so this is the 78th, 79th. Clearly, it's somewhere in this group of 13s, and therefore the 83rd term is equal to 13, which is an answer of D. 12. Okay, good. So question 13 says, there are 14 people at a party. Every pair of people shakes hands exactly once. How many people shake hands? Or how many handshakes occur? Sorry, how many handshakes occur? So let's look at this. Let's assume that the people arrive at the party one at a time. So number 1 arrives at the party and he's the first person there. So he's got nobody's hand to shake yet. But then number 2 arrives. Okay, number 2 arrives at the party, so number 1 and 2 will shake hands. Okay, and clearly, so with one person there was 0 handshakes. With 2 people, there's 1 handshake. Now let's add, I'm going to change colors. Let's see what happens if we have now a 3rd person. So this 3rd person needs to shake hands with the previous 2 people. So you can see he's going to shake that hand and he's going to shake that hand. And 1 and 2 have already shaken hands. So when the 3rd person arrives, we're going to add 2 more. Okay, and then when the 4th person arrives, stick him over here, the 4th person is going to shake hands with the 3rd person, the 2nd person, and the 1st person. So that's another 3 more handshakes. Okay, so let's look at this. They say that there are 14 people at the party. Okay, so if we're going to take this up to 14, so it's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We can see that every new person must shake hands with all the people before him. So if we look here, the 14th person is going to shake 13 hands. And we could add this up, or we could do what I showed you earlier. We've got the sequence 0 plus 1 plus 2 plus up to 13. Okay, and if we reverse the sequence, so it's 13 plus 12 plus 11 plus 0, we can see if we group everything, every group is 13, so it's 13 times how many are there in the sequence. We can see that there's 14 people, so there's 14 numbers in the sequence. 13 times 14, and we have to divide it by 2 so we don't add it twice. So we don't want to add this plus this, we just want to add one of them. And let's see, so that's 13 times 7, 12 times, or let's say 10 times 7 is 70, 3 times 7 is 21, so that is equal to 91. And 91 is E. Okay, again, you could add this up manually. You could go 0 plus, let's do a running total. So 1 plus 2 is 3, 3 plus 3 is 6. I'm just going to fill all of these in. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. 6 plus 4 is 10, 10 plus 5 is 15, 21, 28, 36, 45, 55, 66, 78, 91, and this is our answer, 91. Okay, moving on to the next question. The fraction 1 over 14 is equal to, and I'm just going to write it down for you, find the 2019th digit. Okay, so let us see. They say that 1 over 41 is equal to 0.02439. Okay, and then that is going to just repeat. 0.2439. 0.2439. 0.2439. And that's going to repeat forever. Okay, those last 5 digits repeat forever. Okay, so they want us to find the 2019th digit. Personally, I feel there's a bit of ambiguity in the question, but I'm going to assume that the first digit, they want the number of digits after the decimal point. So in this case, the first digit is a 0, the second is a 2, 4, 3, 9, and this is the 5th digit. This is the 10th digit. This is the 15th digit. So you can see every time we get to a 9, we are on a multiple of 5. Okay, so let's get close to this 2019. So you could say it's 2015. That is a multiple of 5, and therefore we have a 9 on that digit, 25th. Or you could say 202020, and there again you get a 9. So let us say that we were on the 2015th digit and we got a 9. You could then add another 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you get a 3. Or you can start on the 2020th digit as a 9 and go back 1. Either way, the answer is a 3. So the 2019th digit is a 3. And that means that our answer is D. Okay, now the final question. 80 students take part in a mathematics exam consisting of 2 parts. 45 pass the first part, of which 20 also pass the second part. Another 15 students pass neither. How many students pass the second part but not the first? Okay. For a question like this, I would use something that they call a Venn diagram. Let me quickly explain to you how it works. We want to define a region. Okay, we're going to divide the class into different regions. Okay, and we're going to split it up. So this region here, this whole big circle, is the students that pass section A. This region is for the students that pass section B. Where it overlaps, so this middle section here, is pass A and B. Okay, this section here you can see that they've passed A, but they didn't pass B. So this is pass A, not B. And over here, this is pass B, but not A. So this is the region that the question wants. They say, how many students pass the second part but not the first? So this is the region that we are trying to calculate. I'm just going to shade it in red. Okay, that is what we want to calculate. There is one other region which I haven't drawn here, and that's the people that didn't pass anything. So let's put this in a box. Okay, and you can see that there's this outside region, and this region is past neither. Okay, so anything outside is the people that didn't pass anything. And let's mark that in blue. The question says that 15 students didn't pass anything, so I'm just going to write here 15, and that's this outer region. Okay, so we've got this region here that's not been shaded, and the question did say that 45 students passed the first part. So let's write that down. So here's 45. Okay, they divided it. I'm just going to write it down for completeness. They divided that 45 into 20. So 20 passed both, which means that 25 passed only the first part. But that actually isn't important to this question. That's maybe they're designed to throw you off the track. We know that in total there are 80 students. Okay, so in total we've got 80. 15 didn't pass anything. 45 passed the first part. And what's left is this. So let's write that down. 80 minus 15 who passed nothing, minus 45. What is that equal to? Well, we can group those together. That's 60. 80 minus 60 is equal to 20. And therefore this region here consists of 20 students who passed B but not A. And the answer is therefore B. Okay, that's the end of the answers for the grade 4 and 5 section. I hope that was helpful to you. Thank you.